Hey guys, it's Felicia. I was just getting ready to start working with my clients this afternoon, and I thought I would jump on and do a quick video talking a little bit about signs and signals from our loved ones. So, my last video, which so many people watched, I was really grateful, was talking about 3 reasons why you may not be hearing or feeling your loved ones around you. So let's talk a little bit today about signs and signals. How do you know when your loved ones are around you? That's probably one of the most common questions I get all the time when I'm doing readings with people. How do I know it's my loved one? How do I know I'm just not making this up, in my head? So I usually tell people a few things. First of all, we're all energy. We are made up of the same energy as our loved ones, except they don't have a physical body anymore. They are just in an energetic form. We are still in the physical body. So it's not as easy for them to give us signs and signals or communicate with us the way they used to. So I always tell people it's very subtle. Extremely subtle, actually. So you might be in the kitchen doing dishes, or you might be drying your hair if well, men dry their hair too, but you might be blow drying your hair, and all of a sudden you just get a strange feeling, a whoosh of energy. For me, it is like a tingling hug. Feel it in the top part of my body. It's almost like how people talk about their hair standing up, but it's not that extreme for me, but it's just a subtle whoosh of energy and this feeling that somebody is with me, and then my body is reacting or feeling that energy. So think about it. You're in the kitchen. You might be making one of mom's old recipes, or, looking at something, and thinking about your loved one, and you feel almost like goosebumps or tingles or something like that. How you just get a chill. That is most of the time your loved ones, if you are thinking about them or you're feeling that that is them close to you. The other thing I always talk about is smells. So, and there's a broad range of smells. But I used to always know when my grandmother was around because I would smell cigarette smoke. My grandmother smoked Territons. I remember that all these years later. And she wasn't a big smoker, but it's interesting. Like, I used to go in my laundry room and I would smell cigarette smoke, or I used to go in my closet years ago, my master closet, and I'm thinking, I don't smoke. Nobody in my house smokes. Why does my closet smell like cigarette smoke? So a lot of times you might smell pipe tobacco if your loved one smoked a pipe, or cigar smoke. Or have you ever walked into a room and you smell a cologne or perfume that is not yours, right? That is your loved ones trying to get your attention with that type of smell. Some people taste, but I don't have that experience. There are some mediums that will have taste. I wouldn't say that, but I wouldn't rule it out. So all of a sudden you're tasting your mom's favorite chocolate pie or something like that, and you don't know why, and you're getting that feeling of being around them. Another thing is dreams. People will say to me, I dreamed of my loved one, and it felt so real, like they wanted to hug me. I felt this closeness to them. A lot of times I've dreamed about loved ones, and I've actually felt myself crying and crying and crying in a dream. So when that happens to you, that is a visitation from your loved one. That is your loved one appearing in front of you in a dream state, and that's the easiest time for them to connect, with you. In the physical form, where you actually see them, or you feel that is them. I've actually had clients that have lost a child, and they've had an apparition, literally lost a child, saw their son move right through them. That doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Favorite song. Have you ever had your iPhone just no reason at all start playing a random song? Mine does that. It's crazy. Or you're in the car and maybe you're listening to Pandora and you're thinking about somebody, and all of a sudden your favorite song comes on. That's not a coincidence. That is your loved one letting you know, oh, you're thinking about me. Pay attention when those type of things happen. random phone calls. I've had people tell me that their loved one, at the time of their passing, they weren't there, but their phone rang and there was nobody there. Actually, I have a story. Years ago, my my mother-in-law had passed away, and my ex-husband was there at hospice with her. And at 3:30 in the morning, back when we had landlines, my telephone rang and there was nobody there. And I picked up the phone, and of course, I found out later on that was the exact moment that she had transitioned. And I guess she was calling to tell me that she was on her way. But, phone calls are another thing. Hearing a voice, there are people that will say sometimes I hear someone calling my name, or I hear a voice, because that would be clear audience. I have been going to sleep at night and I'll hear a voice or something, somebody saying something to me. So I would be very aware of that. If you're going to sleep at night, you're thinking of your loved one, you're calling them close, and you feel, or you're not even thinking about them, and you hear this voice in your mind. Other people, coins, randomly finding dimes and nickels in auspicious places. Feathers are another thing. A lot of people will walk on the beach and you'll just, you randomly find this feather. So some of these could be very generalized things, but my point in telling you is, when this happens, stop. Think of your loved one and say, thank you. I realize that was you giving me that sign. I've had my grandmother tell me to go outside because there was a rainbow, and sure enough, there was a rainbow in the sky. Sometimes I've had readings where birds, and cardinals are crazy in this part of North Carolina, but, a cardinal pecking at somebody's window trying to get in the house, that's a sign from your loved ones. So what I recommend is be open to the signs, be open to the information when it comes to you, and then ask them, is this you? If it's you, I ask to see it again. You probably shouldn't do that, but ask them. The other thing you can do, I tell people all the time, is a really good exercise that you can do. Take a picture of your loved one, hold it in front of you, close your eyes, and imagine that they're coming off of the picture. So they're coming out in 3D, and they're standing in front of you, and ask them, to embrace you, put their arms around you. And as you're holding them and you're feeling, fake it until you make it, I always say, but feeling that connection to your loved ones, allowing that to happen, and then ask them to give you a sign. Show me a sign. I talked about this in the last video. I lost my dad in January, and I asked him to show me a sign. The first one was an automobile, but of course I needed a second sign. But as soon as you ask, just whatever they show you, like he showed me a shamrock, and I thought, well, that's really odd. But I ended up seeing that shamrock a couple days later. I was in the mountains. And so if they show you something as random as it is and as impossible as it seems, go, okay, that's what it is. Then you need to show me that sign in the next 24, 48 hours, whatever it is. Sometimes they don't have time over there, so they don't really understand. But I would say I need to see that as soon as possible. So after watching this video, be open to the signs and start documenting, writing things down as they happen. And then you will realize that they will happen more frequently. One final thing, some people talk about electronics, TVs turning on, light bulbs burning out, things like that. I think that can be, but I also think that it can be just your light bulb burned out, at a weird moment, unless you keep replacing light bulbs and they keep burning them out. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope everybody has a great day. Take care.